We are live.
Yay, good morning.
It is Monday. It is Hot Topics. How are you?
We're good. It's a long weekend, but we're here. Like drumming.
I know, right? It's a great way to get you going in the morning.
Absolutely. Yeah. So it was a long weekend because we were painting at the farm.
Yeah, I think you have a few blisters. I have a few blisters.
Paint doesn't come off in the shower. You have to really scrub. I didn't know that.
It's so funny you said that because I'm like, I still have paint on my feet.
Yeah, we're not going to quit our day jobs because we're not very good painters.
However, in my opinion, we did the time, we put in the effort, and we did the best to our ability.
That's right, we did. And
our ability would be laughed at by other painters, but it's the best of our ability, and that's all you can ask for.
It's kind of like, you know what I felt like, Stacy? You know how sometimes people, and I don't want to dissuade people from asking us, sometimes people will say, oh, look at my website or something, and we don't have the heart to say, oh, that's a nice try, but it's not very good. That's kind of what I feel like if a painter walked into see our thing, they'd be like, oh, you guys are so pretty.
Good try. And now we have to fix what you messed up. No, it was okay. A lot of work, a lot of time. I think we underestimate sometimes the time it takes to do that kind of stuff.
Yeah. And, I was thinking about the fact that, we always talk about staying in your lane. That's not our lane. Not our lane.
Not our lane. Exactly. But you know what? There are also times, because I feel like, we always say, what's your time worth, and outsource, and definitely hire people and all of that kind of stuff. But I think there's times like this where, you know what, you can do it.
Yep.
And, it's on the weekend. It's not like we were working. So you put the time in, and I think it's a good opportunity to put your own effort into it so that you can look and go, yeah, you know what? We helped create this space.
And we purposely wanted those splotches on the carpet.
Exactly. And I backed into wet paint at one point. I was like, oh, that's not good.
Yeah.
Should have put wet paint signs all over the place. But no, it was good. It was, it was hard work, but I think all the little details, it's all good.
Yeah. So what's up? What have you been thinking about?
Well, so I have to tell you this morning about this really cool, incredible guy on TikTok.
Okay.
And so I started, his stuff just started going into my feed. I'll tell you a little bit of background story. So his posts just started going into my feed. I don't look at TikTok very often, but there's some accounts that just kind of catch my eye. And this guy's did. So again, he just, would come into my feed. And after a while, I was like, you know what? I think I'll follow him. And you don't have to go to the account on TikTok to follow. You just kind of click the button in your feed, in their post. Follow. So I just clicked follow. So I never looked at his account. So I had no idea how many followers he had. It could have had like me, like one, and that was it. And I still would have loved it.
Yeah.
And the most interesting thing is a few weeks later, I showed one to my kids and I was like, oh my God, have you seen this guy? Like, he's so funny. Cause I figured like there's accounts on TikTok that are for people my age, like old.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then they were both like, oh my God, like, about this guy. And I'm like, well, yeah. And he goes, do you have any idea how many followers he has? And I went, well, no, I haven't actually looked at his account. And they're like, well, go look. As of today, he has 64 million followers.
Oh my goodness.
He's growing by 2 million followers a day.
Who is he?
Well, hang on. I'm going to tell you. Okay. But I want to tell you about his account first, because I think the biggest, simple is best. right? People feel like they're going to go and they're going to do these videos, and all of a sudden they need to do this big production.
Right.
Right. There's people that are like studying all these really cool transitions on TikTok and how do I use the coolest effect and the latest this and the latest that. So this is this guy's account. Are you ready? So somebody will post a hack on TikTok. So for example, you know, like you've got your coffee cup and maybe your plug or something is stuck in the handle. So it like shows how you can very simply cut the handle of your mug off to get the plug through.
Right.
This guy doesn't talk in his TikToks, by the way. He does not talk. He silent film.
Okay.
He literally will take, I can't show you because I need more hands, but he takes the plug and the extender, he unplugs it and he goes, and that's his entire episode. So he literally will show the hack that somebody has done, and he kind of goes, and that's it. That's his entire, and then the video's done. No, bad lighting, nothing crazy. He doesn't talk. You don't have to worry about audio.
Wow.
Nothing. And he has 60. I'm just fascinated. Now I'm completely fascinated by this guy.
Wow.
So his name is Khaby Lame. So it's KHABY.LAME. And like I said, he's from, I can't remember where he's from, but he grew up in Italy.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's fluent in Italian and English. But you wouldn't know it because he doesn't talk in his like we talk about, you know, how to get yourself out there on video, right? We're going to talk later today in Master It Monday about live videos and everything sort of we've learned over the past years. We've been doing this for a year now.
Right.
And here's this guy who has taken a concept of just not necessarily debunking, but just kind of showing some simpler solutions to some of these crazy, like this guy did this, like this morning, I saw the one, he did this crazy acrobatic craziness about, and in the middle of his spin, he took his sweatshirt off and all of this kind of stuff. And Khaby Lame just kind of goes, that's his video. And then you can't help but kind of go, oh my God, he's right. And I love this guy so much. And like I said, I think what I love about most is that I didn't follow him because he had 64 million followers that I didn't know. Right. He just literally, you know, I just laughed at his videos and he just brought me joy. Yeah. So I just went click follow and click like, and each of his videos, like that one got 11.2 million likes. It's so simple. And I love the fact that it's so simple.
Well, think about, you know, on YouTube, it's the same thing. Reaction videos. There are people that just react to videos, and those reaction videos gets a huge amount of hits and followers, and they make a lot of money, people watching your reaction to a video.
Yeah. So, and like I said, his audio, I have no idea because he doesn't talk. You know, they're really basic. Like I'm sure someone's just holding the iPhone. It's nothing fancy, like nothing fancy. No, you can tell he's no lighting. No, I'm just, wow. Good for him.
Good for him. That's great.
Yeah. Well, so you have to go check him out.
I will. I'll do it today. Well, you know, again, we always say we don't plan what we're talking about. And interestingly enough, I was on TikTok this morning, which I haven't been ever for a long, long time. You sent me a couple last week about, you know, redecorating hacks for, and we were looking at things for the farm. So I was watching and I'm like, oh, I can do that. Oh, I can do that. As I was watching this morning, I was thinking of ideas. And what was interesting to me about that, and that's what I was kind of thinking about for the last day or two, is how, you know, so many people are have been doing whatever they've been doing for their whole lives. And it doesn't matter what your age is when you decide to find yourself, right? When you decide to start something new. So you're watching people on TikTok and on YouTube who maybe had hobbies or maybe realize they were good at something or not good at something. This guy's whole thing was just, hey. Right? So,
exactly.
And it doesn't matter. And I think, it's an interesting concept, because as I watch some of these really young 20-year-olds and that, like, redoing their homes and stuff and doing all these cool hacks, I was like, oh, I wish I did that when I was their age. I wish I did that. And then I was like, wait a minute. There's no reason I can't do that now. You have the opportunity to, I mean, I don't think I'm going to post it on TikTok, but you have the opportunity.
Yes, you'll notice that our painting is not on TikTok right now.
No. No. But it's an interesting, I think there's a disservice sometimes. People don't truly understand how quickly you can change what you're doing. And, that our job, our main focus for our entrepreneurs is to be able to make them visible, to be able to give them followers, to clear their message, to make sure they gain more clients. And so, but a lot of times what we're doing is really changing their lane, right? We're changing what they're doing because they never thought about it. And some of them might be 50 or 60 or 70. But there's an opportunity. So, for example, if you've just been good at something your whole life and you're 70 and you've just been good at, I don't know, like making brick fireplaces, I don't know. So you could all of a sudden inspire a whole other generation. And you might have been like a stockbroker, right? And you just did this on the side. But now you have the opportunity to share this out with TikTok, with YouTube, with Instagram. And not only can you inspire others, but you can start making money. You can monetize something that you never even thought you were. Yeah. And, think about, maybe in your 20s, if somebody had said, yeah, you can make a ton of money making fireplaces, you might have chose that over being a stockbroker. So it's just a fascinating world. And I think, I do think, TikTok, because they're so quick, just like Instagram Reels, because they're so quick, they inspire you. It's very hard to turn them off. That's the problem.
Yes, be careful going down the TikTok world. Yeah,
but we are, just so everyone knows, like, we're not up on we have accounts, but we don't use them yet. But what we're doing is, if you guys are, I don't know which month it is, it's sometime in the fall, but we're doing a TikTok challenge. So for those of you who are not members of Mastermind City, I want you to go to mastermindcitycommunity.com. You can do a free premium trial, or you can just join the free membership. But in the fall, we're doing a TikTok challenge, and that's to get anyone who's watching, onto TikTok. And maybe you're thinking, I don't have anything to share, but this guy had nothing
to share.
and so I mean, you need to, it's very hard because you need to think outside the box. So for us, when we see someone's talent, we immediately know how they can monetize it or how they can get themselves visible, because that's what we do. But you need to get outside of your own comfort zone to be able to see it. So I'm just thinking out loud, Stacy, but I'm thinking we should, I know, we should do like a hot seat night where we invite everybody in the community in, and they can tell us a little bit about themselves, and we can just say, okay, why don't you try doing this? And why don't you try doing this? Just because there's so much potential out there. And I think, as you said, he brought you joy watching him. It can bring you joy to do something that you really love to do, as opposed to only thinking that it was just a hobby.
Well, there's a woman who, she's actually part of One Red Lipstick. She spoke, she's in the book, and I think she spoke at one of the first One Red Lipsticks. I can't remember her name though, but I know her from seeing her, and that's what she's doing. So what she's doing on TikTok is she's showing some cooking hacks. So it wasn't her job. It wasn't what she did coming along in her career, but she's showing cooking hacks because that was what she enjoyed doing. So really quick, if you're cooking this, here's a hack for that. And she's getting a lot of followers and a lot of response because, again, this younger generation, they don't maybe know some of this stuff, or they know from what their parents have taught them, but good for her. So again, she's a little bit older. and she's figuring how can she embark and share this knowledge with the next generation. So that's exactly what she's doing. And they're actually, again, not fancy, because that's kind of the whole vibe of TikTok. It's not fancy, no fancy lightings, all of that kind of stuff. Even though my ring light, when I took it to a friend's house to help her out, her son was like, "Oh, you have a TikTok light." Not what it's called, but that's okay. So yeah, I mean, she just literally has her camera like beside her stove, and she's like has it angled down, and she's like, if you're making this is what you would do, and here's the final product. So she has like one transition or a pause on a restart, and that's it. So again, I think sometimes when we think about getting on video, especially something like that, people get really nervous because they feel like they have to do this big production. But these two accounts, especially this guy, shows that, I mean, he doesn't even have knowledge. I'm sure he does. I have no idea what he's doing for a living. I mean, he's super young. I started reading about him, and he's like early 20s, and he's making a ridiculous amount of money on other people's content.
I love it.
Fast, like I love it. And I do encourage you to check him out, just because it's just funny. Like he's just funny. So maybe I'll put the link up to his channel and a couple of my favorites. And he's funny. So again, I'm going back to the girl who was part of One Red Lipstick, same thing. Like hers aren't funny, but for someone like myself, who's not a very good cook, I kind of look at it and go, oh, well, that doesn't look as hard. Maybe I can do that. So I appreciate the fact that somebody who's sort of, again, whether you're taking a hobby or whatever it is.
Well, and you know, it's
sharing that information.
Well, you know, for me, because I'm watching now, because whenever you're in that mode, you watch, you know, you gravitate to those videos. So we're in the Reno mode. So, you know, what's interesting and fascinating to me is like, I'll watch HGTV shows, right? You know, home improvement shows, and it's an hour investment of time, right? Because you see the before, and they do the whole Reno, and they show everything they do the after. TikTok in like 30 seconds, not even, you get to see a total like change, and it's indicative of the age group, right? And who is, and so for me, as I said, I was sitting there in bed. I just didn't feel like getting up yet. And I was sitting there watching them. And literally, I literally watched 10 seconds. I'm like, oh, that's perfect. That fits in that wall I was looking at. And it was easy to do. And I never thought about it. And I didn't invest an hour of my time. I invested, you know, a few seconds.
But the other thing is when you're watching something like HGTV or whatever home improvement show that you're watching, they're professionals, right? So you're watching it, but it's like, okay, well, this is like the guy, he's gone to school. He does this for a living. Of course, he's going to make putting up tile or a backsplash or something like that really easy. But when you're on TikTok, it's the person, like they're whatever age, and it's just that they figured out an easier way to do it. So they show the products that they've got. Here's what I did, and they show them doing it. So you know it's not sort of that hired professional. That's what else I like about it. So it's like, you know what? I could do a backsplash. I said to Faye, it can't be that hard.
We were like, we can paint a counter.
We can lay floor. It can't be that hard.
So you're going to see some of the fruits of our labor eventually. And we do have lots of pictures of befores and after. You guys are going to be amazed because we are putting together our studio as well. But it's an interesting thing to, you know, be inspired. And that's the whole point. You want to be inspired by other people. So we hope, you know, in Hot Topics, we inspire you to think a little differently. And maybe you've never even ventured on TikTok. And maybe because you're watching us today or you're listening to us on our podcast, maybe you're going to go say, oh, let me check it out. Maybe it's not just for my, you know, 12-year-old. I can actually learn something. And there are people that, you know, it's interesting because they'll do a TikTok and then they'll push it over to Reels, right? So they're hitting both groups because maybe, you know, they think you're not going to watch, that age group isn't going to watch TikTok, but they'll watch Reels. But if you repurpose it, you can watch it on both, which is kind of cool because I think there's still Reels is trying hard, but I don't think it's you know.
Yeah, and I'm just looking to see what his Instagram is.
Okay.
Which is not as big.
Right. Of course not.
Oh, there's too many.
Because of course not, because you know, Instagram isn't really like, I could see TikTok and YouTube can have the same kind of content because it's a younger kind of vibe to it that people are used to having, watching, you know, as I said, reactions, reviews, all that stuff. But Instagram's a little bit different, right? And I don't watch reels as much.
He only has 17 million on Instagram.
Yeah.
Only. But again, but that's not his platform. It's not his stick, right? Like we talk about stay in your lane. Instagram's not his lane. TikTok's his lane. And he's sticking to it and he's growing there. And he's getting, I don't know what the monetization is, but they said it's an average of about $1,500 per post.
That's great.
Because he's making that much on his account, which is, I don't fully understand sort of that whole side of it. So I don't want to go down that road, but that's what I was reading about him. And I was just like, I just want to cheer this guy on. I just want him to be like, I want him to surpass everybody, but he's literally on track to have the most followers on TikTok total. Like he's going to be number one, which is crazy.
Awesome. And the nice thing is, like I said, we're going to do the challenge in the fall. So, you know, I encourage you guys to go look at it and then just let's follow along with us. We're going to start the same time as you guys. So
yeah, we're going to start with some of the befores. We're going to start with some of the renos. On Mastermind City. Mastermind City does have a TikTok channel. We've not posted yet. So we're going to start with some of the renos and we'll kind of see where we grow our own.
We're going to see where we decide to go. Maybe we're going to talk about that we bought a farm and that we have chickens and we'd have no idea what to do with them.
Oh, good. I was hoping to get through today without hearing the word chickens. Yes, I can't wait to show the chicken coop. It's going to be, I learned also on top of painting, I did learn a lot about how to raise chickens and how to keep chickens stress-free.
Right. Because it's important to keep our chickens stress-free.
Apparently.
Yeah. And I so just so you know where my mind goes, because you know I'm a vegetarian, so I was like, okay, can we just take the chickens that stop laying and make a coop that's for a retirement for chickens?
Yes, you have to build a retirement home for chickens,
because that's where I want to go. For all you farmers, don't be mad at me, okay?
Yeah, for retirement. Hashtag retirement home for chickens. Yeah. Good luck getting that to go. All right. Have a good one, guys.
Bye.